Hi, my amazing friends. It's Tess from my Magical Planner, and it's weight loss check-in day for me. So if you're just rolling across this, let me kind of catch you up to speed. I've had a series of gastro issues over the last almost 3 years now, and through encouragement through my doctors and such, I started an optifast weight loss system. I was started at about between 227 and 230. It's a little hard to tell because scales don't always match up. So the doctor's office weighed me at 230, and my home scale week and a half prior had weighed me at 227. So I'm not sure where to start that scale. But anyhow, that's where we started. Went on the optifast system where I'm essentially doing 4 shakes and a soup from their system, all at 100 and I want to say 60 calories a piece. So I get 800 calories a day to put me into ketosis, which means that I will be in such a deprivation of calories that my body will be forced to burn its own fat opposed to relying on sources coming in. And hopefully I have a fatty liver, and getting all of that fat out of my liver was part of the plan. So week 1 and 2 were rough, but I did get through them. I did get down to I lost like 15 pounds, I want to say. And then I ended up getting really sick. I thought it was just a minor irritation. I have GERD, so the inflammation of my vocal cords and stuff is not unusual. I lost my voice for 10 days, I want to say. As you can hear, it's not 100% yet. That went into a sinus infection. I am still battling kind of that. I'm on antibiotics currently. But with all of that combined, because I don't do anything one step at a time, I find a plan and I'm like, okay, we're going to do X, Y, Z, and Q. So I was also in the process of, I do have anxiety as well as some depression issues. The depression is mostly related to my health stuff. That's a whole different video. But I was stepping off of one medication that had some pretty severe withdrawal in order to replace it with a different medication that had less withdrawal, because with all of the medication shortages, my anxiety was telling me, hey, if I can't get this med, I can't function because my withdrawal is so bad. So I was in the process of stepping down off of that at the same time, and I wanted to be done. And so I maybe took the last 2 step downs too fast. And so when I talk about withdrawal, I'm talking flu-like symptoms, the body aches, the nausea, dizziness, just unclear thinking. Your brain just kind of, it's functioning, but it's firing on like 5 cylinders instead of 10. And the combination of that and being sick, and these all sound like excuses, but it's the reality of things. It was just too much combined with, I love my family. They are not supportive. And when I say not supportive, I mean, I love them. So my husband will come in and say, you want to go get ice cream? Or their idea of helping with food is to order out. So if I don't cook, then they either eat like mac and cheese if it's the kids, or they order out. And so there's a balance there going on with, how do I feel like I'm being a good mom and providing the meals that are nutritious and they need, but yet not challenging my own need to go down on the scale. So that has been challenging. So what I ended up doing is, because I was not getting better, I was just continuing to get sicker and sicker. It was suggested that maybe it was too much stress on my system at this, with everything else going on, and that I needed to step off of the optifast for a couple of weeks just while my body healed and things kind of settled in, and then I could try again. So that's kind of where we are. I weighed myself this morning. Scale said I was 224 pounds. So yes, I've gained back some of that weight, which goes into my concern of, so I do this optifast diet, 800 calories. Okay. And we struggle through all of this weight loss, but as soon as I stop, does it all come back? I'm not really sure. So I'm concerned about that. I have a lot of misgivings, but I'm trying to trust in the doctors. That being said, there are a lot of red flags isn't quite the right word, but there are some concerns. So the meal replacement is being done by the same doctor's office. I'm paying $69 a month, which is supposed to include all of these like extra things like support group and a dietitian and online workout stuff, some other resources. And I'm in the process of trying to figure out all that, because so I went and I looked at the online workout video just to kind of gauge, well, what does this look like? So it's a private YouTube video, and it is probably, I feel so bad saying this, but it is probably the worst workout video I have ever seen. So it's a woman in a room being like, oh, do this, and if you can't do that, do this, but she's not actually working out with you. I don't know, it just doesn't, it could work. I mean, it's very instructional. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, if I want to do that, I'm going to look at a list of things and be like, okay, I need to do 5 minutes of X. Okay, we went through 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes of Y, whatever. I can do that. This video just didn't feel like it fulfilled that for me. There's supposed to be a Facebook group that is a resource for you. They advertise it as a thing, and then I went to the Facebook group, and because it's a private Facebook group, so you have to be part of the program to see the Facebook group, right? So I get and I do the whatever and look at the Facebook group, and nobody's posted there since January. And I'm looking back at the previous post, and they're very sporadic and not really informative. So, and not really like a community. So I'm like, okay. So I emailed. I'm like, okay, do we not really use the Facebook group? Is everything just via email? Like, just kind of gauging how things are and trying to figure stuff out. And she's like, well, it's for the members to use. It's up to their discretion. I don't really post in there because not everybody has Facebook. Okay. Why are we advertising it then? Like, you're not utilizing it. Like, okay. So then I tried to go to the support group, but the support group evidently hadn't started yet. So I started the program, but I didn't have any support. So that was challenging. The support group has started now. It's 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. I've been to one. So it was me and the dietitian and then 2 other individuals. One who has been through the optifast system before and lost a bunch of weight and is back to kind of fine tune her ability to eat healthy. At least that's what it sounds like. And then another person who had signed up literally that day. Hopefully there'll be more people in the support group as it goes, but I was a little surprised by the smallness of it. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll be bad. I just was really, really shocked. I thought it would be a minimum of like 5 people, but, and not including the dietitian. So, I don't know how useful having that small of a group is going to be. It could be immensely useful, so I'm just going to have to wait and see. I don't think I'm going to make this week's just because we do have a kids concert literally at the exact same time. She is supposed to email out like any kind of bullet points from the meeting, because there's like a people can ask questions and talk portion, and then there's also a here's some information for you. This last week it was a kind of get to know you, and then she talked briefly about when you're taking things away, making sure you're adding in new things specifically to bring you joy. That was really hard. I'm going to have to spend some time on that this week, because one of the problems I'm having is that my mood was going down so severely. I was feeling really depressed. Granted, I was stepping off of my meds, and so I think the 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 severity of stepping off those meds so quickly, and then it was rainy and gray, and I don't know about anybody else, but that really plays into my mood. Plus, not feeling well, and not feeling well for such an extended period of time. Because I started to have throat problems around April 11th, and the fact that it's still ongoing is frustrating. I feel like most people would have bounced back by now. If I ask my doctors, they'll say I have really bad luck, which just makes me roll my eyes. It really does. How many things can you explain away with really bad luck? At some point, it's got to be more, right? You went in for surgery and you came out with extreme GERD. It's really bad luck. Just bad timing. Yeah, but I didn't have any GERD symptoms before I went into surgery. It's really bad luck. It's just timing. There's no like correlation. That's what I keep getting told. And at this point, I'm just like, between that and the fat comments, and the fact that I weighed the same going into surgery as I did coming out, just makes me so frustrated. Side note, tangent over. Sorry. Okay, so besides the support group, you have unlimited visits with the dietitian. So I'll have my first visit one-on-one with her. That'll happen on Tuesday. I'm not sure what to expect that. In the past, those type of meetings haven't really been helpful because I know everything that they're going to tell me. I've done my research. I've met with enough dietitians, so I don't have a whole lot of hope there. If the entire value of that $69 is just one-on-one meetings with her, I'm not sure if that's worth it, because it feels like at this point that $69 is paying for like the majority of my value is the one-on-one meetings with her and the ability to buy the optifast shakes and soups and stuff. So it feels a little bit like a money grab just because of the value it feels like is there, just so I can pay more money. I'm not sure if that's really the case, but that's how it's feeling at this point. And I think some of that is stemming from my frustration and not feeling well. As far as all of that goes, I did start to get sick around the 11th, and then that lasted, well, it's still going on. I am feeling better. It's just not all the way there. I'm frustrated with my health and where it's at, but we're hopefully going to be in a better place soon. As far as the coming week goes, I'm going to try and restart the system. I'm not sure what day I'm going to try and restart. Part of that kind of depends on how the congestion goes. I feel like even though the system is lactose free, it does, and this is just my perception with the creaminess of the products, feel like there is a lot of dairy in it, because you can have dairy without lactose, right? And mucus and cold stuff and dairy don't really coincide really well. So I'm trying to wait until some of this clears up before I restart, just so I don't feel crummy on top of crummy, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try and restart. I don't know if it'll be a Monday restart because I'm still feeling a lot of congestion, but at least by Wednesday I want to restart. I have a lot of concerns about how it's all going to go. I'm going to be adjusting some things. So I did find that having the bars was much more helpful for me, because around 3 o'clock I'm in the car, and doing a shake just really, it works, but it isn't as satisfying. So having one of the granola bars in the car for me is much more helpful. The other thing that I've discovered is that the soups are irritating, I think, the GERD a little bit. So I think the best way to try and deal with that and still stay on the system is I'm going to try and move that to a lunch, because first thing in the morning, I'm not feeling great. I have a lot of acid issues. That'll give time for my morning medication to take into effect, and then I can do a lunch and then be able to do a shake in the evening, and hopefully that'll alleviate some of the symptoms. If it doesn't, the overall plan is to maybe continue the shakes and take the soup out and replace it with a meal, or replace it with just another shake, but the shakes are not as filling as the soup, and I do seem to need a little bit more. And you can add vegetables to that soup and still be okay. So that's kind of where things are laying as far as that goes. All right, on to my wellness planner. So this is my Hobonichi weeks, and in here I do go about putting this together to kind of help me. And the last week was not very helpful. The week before, again, I was sick, but it has been really helpful in the past. So here's how I set it up this week. I went ahead and I used this small sticker book from Happy Planner. I just picked this up at Michael's. Gosh, it's been probably a year, so I'm not sure if they still have it, but they just have little stickers, and these work actually really well in the Hobonichi. Size-wise, the squares are a little bit bigger and stuff, but it's as close as you can get on a mainstream sticker. I don't like the screw mechanism for twisting it, but other than that. So in here, what I went ahead and did on this side, this is where I do my tracking stuff. So I have 2 dots for meds, and then I have 3 squares underneath that. Those are for marking off my water intake. I have a 32-ounce water bottle, so if I can get at least 3 in, 4 would be ideal, but 3 is getting there. So, and then I have one of the the corner stickers to do steps, and I can mark that in. I usually have my Apple Watch on. I haven't been wearing it the last week because I felt discouraged, but we're going to try and put that back on this week. That also gives me room in here to write any notes or symptoms or that kind of thing. Then on this side, I tend to write in any health related things that I have going on. So I have the dietitian appointment marked in here, as well as that GI follow-up. Along with that, I have on Monday a reminder that I want to kind of sit down and just give myself 5 questions to ask the dietitian, to give myself a, hey, these are the things I'm struggling with. What suggestions do you have? I've met with a lot of dietitians over the last couple of years, so I'm not sure what to expect from that, but I'm trying to go in with an open mind. And then I do have the support meeting also marked on here. Even though I'm not going to be able to attend that, that'll give me a reminder to look for notes from that in my email to kind of just continue to keep it in the forefront of my mind. And then for the GI follow-up, I also have in here write questions. I think I wrote write questions. Anyhow, what I usually do when I have a doctor's appointment, especially for the GI doctors these days, is I go in and I have Google Docs for each visit. And what I'll do is I'll copy that and I will essentially go over what are the symptoms I'm currently having, how are those affecting my life currently, and then what questions I have for the doctors so that I feel like those appointments are useful and not just a waste of my time, because otherwise I go in and there's so much information that the doctors can get overwhelmed. And if the doctor gets overwhelmed, essentially you walk out with nothing new. So last GI appointment was essentially sending me for an MRI among, I think that was mainly the thing, was the MRI. And we talked about the weight loss stuff. Other than that, nothing's really changed as far as all of this goes. So I'm not sure what to expect this visit. The other thing we did the last GI doctor visit is they sent me to the GI surgeon to talk about those leftover gallstones. So, which was another, well, wait and see. But it's been 3 years. I've waited. Anyhow. So that's kind of where the wellness journal is at this point. And yes, I'm calling it a wellness journal, not a planner, because that's kind of what it is. It's just tracking things. Over here, I will oftentimes write down what I've eaten, and on this side, I try to do symptoms for the most part. However, with the questions, Monday might end up being questions for the dietitian. So we'll kind of see. That's where things are going currently. Hopefully this next week will go better and I'll start feeling better. No matter where you are on your own weight loss journey, I hope it goes well and that you don't give up hope. Even if you step off and you're not doing well, it doesn't mean that's how it has to end. At least that's a take I'm taking on this, is it's a process. So yes, I messed up and stepped off and I'm not following things exactly, but at the same time, it's a journey, right? That's why we're calling it a weight loss journey. So each week is going to be different. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, but hopefully the end result is that we're healthier in the end. So don't give up hope, keep going. And I'd love to hear how you guys are doing on your own weight loss journeys. And until next time, I'll see you guys real soon.
So your tears been running like a waterfall. Thought the stars would never let you down. And you keep on thinking you could save yourself, but that's love, that's just love. You should know some things will hurt, and you'll end up getting burned. I just hope that you will learn. That's just love, that's just love. You will get back up again, even if you don't know when. And it feels like the world is coming down on you. You have to move on, deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of love. with your broken heart. You have to move on. Deal with your broken heart. No matter what you think, you'll never ever get enough of.